How are you? My name is Michelle Connor. I'm your VCS for Living Environment. So today we're looking at Jamboard. So there's two different ways to start a Jamboard. The first way is through your drive, and the second way is through a Meet. I'm going to show you both. So if you're in your drive and you go New, you have to go to More, and then you'll actually see Google Jamboard. And then it'll open a blank Jamboard for you. The other way to do it is to go directly through your Meet. So if you're in a Meet, there's these activities. It says whiteboarding. Whiteboarding is the same thing. So start a new whiteboard. And you'll notice this one automatically will title it with whatever the Meet link is. This one will stay untitled. But both work the same way. So the basic features of Jamboard are on the side. So the first one is your pen. You can do it as like a pen, a highlighter, a brush, so marker. You can pick a color, and then it just allows you to draw. Now this is good if you're doing like math problems, like 2x plus 1 equals 10, let's say. So this is really good for that. If you have an iPad, Jamboard is awesome for this writing tool. If you have an iPad, it's so much easier than trying to use the trackpad. But I know if something comes up kind of randomly with students, I like to use this, and I've gotten decent at drawing with it. It takes a little bit of practice, though. Then you have your eraser, obviously. If you do Command or Control-Z, depending upon your computer, you could back everything up. This is just an arrow. It points. These are my favorite. So these are the sticky notes. The sticky notes, you could change color. You could have no color. And these are great for student responses. Once they type on them, because remember, Jamboards can be shared with multiple people. It allows them to be able to move these. This is add an image. You can add some shapes. Very basic shapes can be added, nothing super crazy. Circles. Really good if you want to go ahead and use the circle to make like a Venn diagram. You would need it to be bigger, obviously. You could duplicate. You could change the order. Send to the back, send to the forward. Text comes in handy. So you'll notice up top there's a display, a title, subtitle, normal, and caption. These are the sizes in which you could type at. Sometimes they're too big, and sometimes they're too small, but you have to kind of pick and choose what you want it for. Again, you can increase the size or decrease the size, as well as change the orientation, centered alignment. And this is a laser. So if you want to be like, oh, look at this note. That works there. And up top is where you can change and add slides. You also can do a drop down so you can see everything at once. And then you'll notice these plus symbols, you can go ahead and add slides in between. Now it's not quite like PowerPoint, but there are multiple slides, so there's different ways to use it. We'll go over some good ways to use these. Now you'll notice in this particular lesson, there's a Jamboard that we made that you could actually go ahead and make a copy of. So this one says you're working in a team of 3 or 4. And then you're going to go ahead and answer the questions. So if the students can go ahead and actually make a copy of this Jamboard so they each have it. That's a really nice way to do it. This way someone's in charge of it, and then they can go ahead and hand it in together. So this one's really basic. So this one has a couple questions. And this is asking the students to post their ideas on the sticky notes. So you'll notice there's no functions on the side because you have to make a copy of it. So you go ahead and make a copy. It would open. And then the students would have access to the functions, which you'll notice on the side. So students would go ahead and post their ideas on their sticky notes. So the sticky notes for questions are one of my favorite ways to use this. Another really cool way to use this is for like graphing, interactive, stuff like that. And like charts, as far as like, so what I like to do is I like to do like a see, think, wonder. And what I do is I just make the chart really quick. To show you how fast this is. So I move it over. We'll do a see, think, wonder. And because you'll notice that there's not really like fancy straight lines, one option, I'm going to show you both, is to just make a column. And you make a box for see, a box for think, a box for wonder. The other way I also do it is I use the marker feature. And I just go ahead and I'll draw a little T-table. So these are kind of your two options. So see, think, wonder is really good to use it for. Another thing I like to do if we're doing like group work where they have to present something or make a vision board. Vision boards are really cool because remember you could add images. So what you can do is you can set up a slide for each group. So this can be group number 1. Hit the arrow. This can be group 2, and so on and so forth. And then the students can go ahead and add images based on, so by URL, by their camera, Google search. So if they type in, let's just say like a turtle, a sea turtle, they'll be able to click it. I like this guy. This is really good for do nows. It's really good for exit tickets as far as posting those sticky notes. The vision boards are really fun for group work to get people started. Driving question boards for units, this is really good for. And really just kind of like classroom collaboration. So again, you could have the students make a copy. If you put the link in your presentation, the students can make a copy and just work on it together. Or you can make different slides per each group. It depends on your group of kids. Some group of kids are a little feisty and they'll go ahead and start messing with other people's work and delete things out. If that's not a problem, I'd definitely keep it as one so it's easier to grade. If that's something that is happening, I'd go ahead and obviously keep it separate. The only thing is you'd have to share it. So the easiest way I find to share it is to get a link. So you'll notice there's different restrictions on it. I like to use anyone with the link, copy the link and then paste it. You have to be an editor as well. So if you're a viewer, you won't have any access to be able to draw on it or add sticky notes. If you're an editor, then you can. So that's one of the main things when you're giving it to your students, that you give them the link with editing access, just like you would a regular Google Doc. They'd have editing access to the Google Doc, not a view only. If you want to create something that is a view only, that's fine too, and use it almost like a PowerPoint that you can write on so you can demonstrate something to the kids. That works. But if you're expecting the kids to interact with it, they have to be an editor. And then you can go ahead and hit done. And those are my favorite features of Jamboard.